Gear 1. Okay, so there's actually no such thing as Gear 1. What I really mean is just regular Luffy, basic Luffy. This is the version of Luffy we get right after he eats the Gomu Gomu no Mi. And trust me, it's absolutely worth talking about. Even in this basic form, Luffy can already stretch his body in super crazy ways. He can stretch out like a noodle, then snap right back to normal. And yeah, let's be real, most body alteration devil fruits are kinda lame. But Luffy? His physical power and durability are actually insane. In Water 7, Luffy straight up moved 2 buildings, using just his arms. And he was only 17 at the time. That's no gear, no power-up, just pure muscle and cartoon physics. See, Luffy doesn't just fight randomly, he totally understands how to use physics in battle. When he pulls his arm way back, he builds up a ton of elastic energy. Then he releases it, bam, like a cannon blast straight to the face. It's a perfect real-world use of what scientists call elastic potential energy. Even his defense is wild. In basic form, regular punches and kicks don't hurt him at all. Why? Because rubber absorbs impact and bounces back. So cannons, punches, kicks, no big deal. The only thing that actually hurts Luffy is Haki, specifically, armament Haki. That's why he was so confused when he got injured at AnimeZONE Lily. Turns out, everyone there knows armament Haki. Oh, and one big weakness? Swords. Rubber can stretch, bounce, and tank hits, but it can still be cut. So if you don't have Haki, you better bring a blade. When it comes to attacking, Luffy's basic form already has a seriously fun arsenal. The Gomu Gomu no pistol is his go-to move. He pulls his arm way back and throws a long-range punch that's absolutely fast and powerful. The Gatling move? That's Luffy going full anime mode, punching again and again and again like a machine gun, creating a straight-up wall of fists. Then there's Gomu Gomu no Bazooka, where he uses both arms at once for a double whammy punch. And Gomu Gomu no Rocket lets him launch himself forward at crazy speed by grabbing something and slingshotting his whole body. It's wild. What really makes Luffy stand out is how insanely creative he is. In Dressrosa, he literally spun his body like a propeller and came up with Gomu Gomu no UFO, a totally new move. That just proves how even in basic form, Luffy can constantly invent new techniques on the spot. He's creatively dangerous. But, real talk, this fruit is not easy to use. It's kinda weak at first, and definitely hard to master. But it's also super flexible, and that's where Luffy shines. Back when he was a kid, Luffy still lost fights to Ace, even though he already had a devil fruit, and Ace didn't. That's proof that just having powers doesn't make you strong. You need skills, you need experience, and Luffy trained with this fruit for years. Oh, and we have to talk about the lightning stuff. In the Skypiea arc, we meet Enel, who literally has the power of thunder, crazy observation Haki, and acts like a god. The dude looked totally unbeatable, but Luffy was the perfect counter, because rubber doesn't conduct electricity. That's right. Enel's god-tier lightning powers were completely useless. He was so shocked. Honestly, his fruit is super OP, it's just that Luffy happened to be the one person in the world who could accidentally no-sell him. At the end of the day, Luffy's basic form is the solid foundation for everything he achieves later on. It's not just where he started, it's proof that when you mix natural talent, crazy creativity, and years of hard work, you can literally turn silly rubber powers into something legendary. Just a second, thank you to everyone who's been with us since day one. And now, welcome to the Grand Line. Besides the epic ninja world of Naruto, we're also diving into the wild, fun, and emotional adventures of Luffy and his crew. We'll laugh, cry, and go all out together on this journey. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the crew. Who knows, maybe you're the missing piece we need to reach the One Piece. Next, let's get back to Gear 2. If Luffy's basic form is the foundation, then Gear 2 is his first major power-up. It's the moment when the real glow-up begins. Luffy first unlocked Gear 2 in Enies lobby during a desperate fight against CP9, the same group that literally embarrassed him back in Water 7. It was payback time. The way Gear 2 works is honestly kind of genius, from a biology point of view. Luffy uses the rubber in his legs like a giant blood pump, massively increasing his blood circulation. Now, for a normal human, this would absolutely destroy their body. But Luffy isn't normal. His veins and organs are made of rubber, so they can handle the extra pressure without bursting. This means oxygen and nutrients move way faster through his body, turning him into a straight-up battle machine. When Luffy activates Gear 2, his body glows red and starts steaming like a high-speed engine. It's not just for show, his body is literally heating up because his metabolism is going wild. That steam, that's the sound of Rubber Boy entering tryhard mode. And yo, this upgrade is no joke. Luffy completely destroyed Blueno, a top-tier CP9 agent who had serious skills, and the super OP door powers. Luffy was so fast and so strong that Blueno couldn't react. Every move got a crazy boost. Gomu Gomu no pistol became Jet Pistol, with insane speed and brutal power. The word jet basically means, this is gonna hurt a lot. What's even crazier, Luffy wasn't just faster, he was finally strong enough to break through Tekai, CP9's iron body defense technique. It was supposed to be unbreakable. Luffy said nope and punched straight through it. Gear 2 took Luffy's speed to a whole new level. He got so fast that he could easily outspeed enemies using Soru, aka the fastest movement technique in the whole Rakashiki style. And that's a huge deal, because before Gear 2, Luffy was honestly getting clapped in terms of speed. Now he could finally keep up, and even go toe-to-toe with the people who used to laugh at him. But let's be real, what truly made Gear 2 iconic is Red Hawk, a move he revealed after the time skip. This attack is pure fire, literally. It's a mix of Gear 2's crazy speed and armament haki. When Luffy punches super fast with max power, the friction with the air and his high body heat create an actual flaming fist. It looks sick. It hits hard. It's called Red Hawk, and it burns. And yeah, it's actually scary. In one of the best moments ever, even Kaido, yes, the freaking Emperor of the Sea with invincible skin, had to respect it. But wait, Gear 2 didn't stay the same. It evolved. At first, Luffy had to activate it throughout his entire body, which burned a ton of energy. He'd get tired super fast, and it could even shorten his lifespan. Big yikes. But after training for 2 years with Rayleigh, Luffy got way smarter with it. Now he can activate Gear 2 in just one part of his body, like his legs or arms. That saves energy and avoids the bad side effects. It's like he finally learned how to use cheat codes responsibly. From a kid who just punched stuff randomly, Luffy has actually grown into a fighter with some real finesse. Gear 3. After shocking everyone with the crazy speed of Gear 2, Luffy came back with something totally different, Gear 3, first shown at Eni's lobby. This time, he didn't go faster. He went bigger, way bigger. Luffy blows air into his thumb, yeah, seriously, and then pumps it through his body. This turns parts of him, usually his arms or legs, into huge balloon-like muscles. The result? Absolutely massive punches that can smash through anything. While Gear 2 beats enemies with speed and pressure, Gear 3 is all about raw power. The first time he used it, Luffy sent Rob Lucci, a legit fighting genius, flying through a building like a busted volleyball. That moment proved how far Luffy had come. First, he used rubber just to bounce and stretch. Then, he boosted speed. Now, he's throwing building-busting punches. But of course, all that power comes with a big price tag. At first, Gear 3 had huge downsides. When Luffy inflated one part of his body, the rest stayed small. That made him super clunky and slow. So while his punch was strong, his movement was totally awkward, which fast enemies like Lucci could easily take advantage of. Once Luffy used Gear 3 for too long, his body would shrink into this tiny chibi version of himself, literally baby-sized. He'd lose all his power, couldn't fight back, and just had to run around hoping no one stomped on him like a bug. The amount of time he stayed small was equal to how long he used Gear 3. So yeah, pretty rough deal. At that moment, Luffy wasn't a warrior. He was a rubber toddler praying for plot armor, but that was just the beginning. After 2 years of training with Rayleigh, Luffy seriously upgraded Gear 3 and turned it into a fully reliable weapon. He learned how to control the airflow better, spreading it through his body to keep things balanced. More importantly, he finally stopped shrinking into a tiny baby after using it. That one fix alone turned Gear 3 from a high-risk gamble into a move Luffy could use anytime, anywhere. The next big power boost came when Luffy combined Gear 3 with armament haki. Now, his giant punches were covered in invisible armor, making them way more destructive. It wasn't just size anymore. These attacks hit like meteors. Like seriously, he blocked sword attacks from Admiral Fujitora, something old Luffy could never do. That's some next level durability right there. And you can even see the evolution in the names of his moves. At first, his Gear 3 attacks used the word Gigant, like Gigant Stamp or Gigant Rifle. But when he started mixing in Haki, the names changed to Elephant, so we got moves like Elephant Gun and Elephant Rifle. This wasn't just a cool rename, it showed how much stronger his techniques had become. And then there's Red Rock. Oh man, Red Rock is straight up insane. It mixes the giant size of Gear 3, the burning heat of Gear 2, and the armor-piercing power of Haki, all in one punch. It hit so hard that even Kaido, the so-called strongest creature alive, was shook. Yeah, he tanked it. But for the first time, he actually looked surprised. That punch was a big moment. It proved just how far Luffy had come, from silly rubber punches to emperor-killing level attacks. Gear 3 is a perfect example of how Luffy learned to balance raw power with real control. He got smarter, and somehow still silly. Classic Luffy. Gear 4. After 2 years of intense training on Rusakaina Island, Luffy created a completely new form, a crazy mix of strength, speed, and defense all rolled into one. This wasn't just boosting one part of his body anymore. This was Luffy turning his whole body into a full-on battle machine. Unlike the earlier gears, Gear 4 is deeply connected to Haki. Luffy pumps air into his muscles and then covers his entire body with armament Haki, creating a kind of living armor that can adapt to whatever fight he's in. The first and most balanced form of Gear 4 is called Bound Man. Luffy's body becomes a giant rubber balloon that constantly bounces around like a maniac. He can pull his arms and legs into his body and launch them out like cannonballs, hitting with ridiculous power. It's basically an upgrade of Gear 3, except now his whole body becomes a weapon, not just one giant arm. What's totally wild about Bound Man is that Luffy can actually change the direction of his punches mid-air. Before, his attacks were mostly in straight lines. Now, he can curve them. He can fake people out. He can throw a punch from behind you while flying sideways. It's chaotic, unpredictable, and super fun to watch. And the defense is next level. Most attacks bounce right off him thanks to his rubbery, Haki-covered body. At this point, Luffy is a bouncy, flying fortress. Tankman shows how smart Luffy's become at adapting to his enemies. This form focuses completely on defense. Luffy basically turns his body into a massive, unbreakable wall. Yeah, he loses speed, but he makes up for it with insane counterattacks. When enemies hit him, he uses their own force against them, bouncing their attacks back with crazy impact. It's a whole new way of fighting, and it proves that Luffy isn't just charging in like he used to. Now, he's thinking. He's learning how to turn his weaknesses into advantages. Then comes Snake Man, the ultimate evolution of Luffy's fighting style. While Bound Man was all about power, Snake Man is pure speed and flexibility. His punches become super fast, and they change direction constantly, striking from every possible angle. It's like trying to fight a rubber tornado. Snake Man is the perfect blend of Gear 2's speed and Gear 3's power, but boosted to a whole new level. It's fast, it's flashy, and it's completely unpredictable. But there's a big catch. Gear 4 comes with a huge price. After using it, Luffy gets completely exhausted. Even worse, he loses the ability to use Haki for 10 whole minutes. That's a serious weakness. 10 minutes is more than enough time for a strong enemy to finish him off. So Gear 4 isn't some cheat code, it's a high-stakes all-in gamble. But Luffy didn't stop evolving there. Eventually, he learned how to use Gear 4 in smaller, smarter ways. He started focusing the power into just one part of his body, like his fist or leg, without transforming his whole body. That lets him fight in his regular style, with all the stretchy moves we love, while still packing Gear 4 level power. It's efficient, it's tactical, and it shows how much better Luffy has gotten at controlling his own strength. Gear 4 is a clear sign of how much Luffy has matured. He used to rush into battle head first. Now, he can analyze, adapt, and execute like a real battle genius. Each Gear 4 form has a specific purpose, designed for different types of enemies. That's why Gear 4 is such a massive leap in his journey, It's when Luffy stopped being just strong and started becoming a master of strategy. Gear 5. Gear 5 is the destiny moment in Luffy's entire evolution. Unlike all the other gears, this isn't something he trained for. This is something ancient that finally woke up inside him. When Kaido literally killed Luffy at Onigashima, something unbelievable happened. His devil fruit awakened, unlocking a power that had been sleeping for decades. It all started with his heartbeat. His heart began to beat like drums, the drums of liberation. This rhythm symbolized total freedom. Then, Luffy's body turned bright white, smoke formed around him in a weird half-moon shape, and everything about him screamed mythical. This was the moment Luffy stopped just using the devil fruit and became its living form. The sun god Nika had returned. What makes Gear 5 completely different from every previous gear is this. It doesn't just change Luffy, it changes everything around him. In Gear 2, 3, and 4, Luffy upgraded his body. But in Gear 5, he literally turns the battlefield into a world of rubber. Anything he touches becomes bendy and stretchy. Like when Kaido blasted him with Bolo Breath, Luffy didn't dodge it. He just turned the ground into rubber and bounced it right back at Kaido. Absolutely insane. His fighting style totally breaks all the rules of physics and all the rules of One Piece too. He fights like an actual cartoon character. His eyes pop out when he's surprised. Stars spin around his head when he's hurt. His body twists, squashes, and stretches in ways that science just gave up on explaining. This is Luffy fully unchained. No limits, no rules, just pure chaotic fun. And the size upgrades. Gear 5 makes Gear 3 look tiny. Luffy can grow bigger than Big Mom, turning into a full-on giant rubber god. But even more wild than the size is how he uses it. He doesn't just smash stuff. He turns Kaido's dragon form into a jump rope. That's not just strength, that's maximum creativity and freedom in battle. Luffy isn't just fighting to win. He's having fun, expressing himself, and turning every fight into a rubbery masterpiece. One of the wildest things Luffy can do in Gear 5 is grab lightning. Yeah, like actual lightning bolts from the sky. Because his body is made of rubber and doesn't conduct electricity, he can literally catch a lightning bolt, stretch it like a whip, and throw it as a weapon. Even crazier, he can change its direction mid-air. This is a huge upgrade. Luffy went from just resisting electricity to actually using it to attack. Mother Nature is now his personal toolbox. At Egghead, Luffy showed off another ridiculous move, Dawn's Symbol. He clapped his hands together with Saturn and Kizaru stuck in between. Boom! The force was absolutely insane, like a giant invisible hammer smashing everything. It's a perfect combo of raw strength and over-the-top creativity. Even the name Dawn is important. It connects to the idea of a new day, hope, and light beating darkness. Now here's something that shocked even Kaido. Gear 5 has both Paramecia and Zoan traits. That means Luffy doesn't just stretch like rubber, he can also transform like an animal-type devil fruit. This is the first time we've seen a fruit break the normal categories like that. So Gear 5 isn't just about Luffy getting stronger, it's about the entire devil fruit system evolving too. But the most important thing about Gear 5, it's not the power, it's freedom. It's Luffy's soul breaking free. Gear 5 is the final form of Luffy's journey from Gear 1 through Gear 4. All those older gears focused on boosting one specific thing, speed, power, defense. But Gear 5 throws all those rules away. Now, Luffy can do anything. He's not bound by logic, not even by physics. And that's exactly the kind of power someone needs to become the Pirate King. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.